Today is somewhat of a special edition for me because I told y'all I was gonna document my journey so that y'all can understand what it takes and you can have some understanding behind things that happen in your life that you think might be negative, but they're not. So today I got my little celebration outfit on because something that happened the other day, and I just want to share it with you because it could very well be something that has happened to you. And so here we go. I don't know how much detail I should put in this, but you know what? Let's just go all in. If I'm documenting, let's just go all in. We're gonna do it. Okay, so I've been a realtor for 11 years, and my realtor journey was different than I think the average realtor journey. So I'm not going to talk about that, but what happened was I decided that I'm going to pay attention to what my body is telling me and what my frequency, what my energy is telling me. And I'm stuck, just like many of y'all are stuck, because I have these obligations to run a household and to pay my bills and to have a job and to do this and to do that. And everybody's situation is different. So part of what I was talking about the other day was removing the fear out of your life so that you can obtain your highest and best life. And real estate was never really successful for me. And it is very successful for a lot of people. Well, not a lot. Once you get into business, you realize it's actually a very small percentage that actually, that it becomes rewarding. And for me, it wasn't very rewarding in many ways. But when you do make a sale, you make a chunk of money. And I told myself that career does not align with me at all. At all. And my goal, I hate the word goal, but my what aligns with me is being on the track in one way or another. So I cannot continue to do real estate and be on the track. Now, you might say, well, some people do. Well, not me. It ain't me. It's hot. These things are hot. So I told myself, Jessica, you may not be in a good situation financially. I'm behind on my bills all the time. I don't know how I'm going to eat half the time. But I don't look like that. I look like I'm doing just fine. Because I'm adaptable. I can play the part, whatever part I need to play. But I told myself I have one house left to sell. And after I sell this house, I'm cutting it all off because it doesn't align with me. For some reason, and that was the biggest sale that I would have had in my 11 years. And I tried hard. But it was literally like swimming against the current carrying this house. And mind you, for every month that it's on the market, it's costing me money. It's costing my client money. And so I said, as soon as I'm just going to sell this house, and when I sell it, that'll be one less chain attached to me so I can get myself to where I need to be on the track. Now, racing, cars, all that kind of stuff is very expensive. And I realize financially, it's not realistic. But when you're aligning yourself, you got to take the realistic aspect out of it. And I don't mean become a dreamer. I mean, you do what you do to get there. And I have never not sold a house in over 11 years. Well, for some reason, this house, my biggest sale, this would have put me in such a position to be able to be where I needed to be. My commission would have been $30,000, which isn't a whole lot of money, but it is a lot of money in a sense to where it could change a lot of things for you, right? So that would have been able to help me catch up on my bills and get me on the road. And I kept questioning the process, like universe or God or whoever you question or whatever, like, you know that if I was able to sell this house, you know that would put me where I need to be, right? And I couldn't sell the house. I couldn't sell the house. And so I talked to my client, and I'm like, hey, look, man, I can't keep doing this. You've got to get this house sold. I'm gonna find another realtor for you, and we're gonna make it happen. And I tried that, and that didn't necessarily work out. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna hang in there. I'm a very loyal person. I'm gonna be loyal. I'm gonna get this house sold for you. I relisted it. It's been on the market for a few weeks now, and it's just not feeling, it's still feeling kind of stagnant. I'm getting a little bit of activity on it, but ultimately, my client called me the other day and pretty much fired me. But it was under a understanding, because I always felt like this was just holding me back because there's things I can't do. Being a realtor, there's things that and just that, you got something, and every day you're like, I need to make this happen. I need to make this happen. I need to do this. I need to do this. And you and your mind are trying to control the situation. So I had to put it in my mind, a lot of times we try to control our fate, try to control our future. We try to control, we make these plans and we say, okay, there's nothing wrong with having goals and making plans, but at some point you have to understand when you're going against the grain. And I knew it in the back of my mind. This isn't aligning with me, but I'm loyal. I got to be loyal, and I'm scared. I'm scared because I don't know how I'm going to get financially able to go to these places and do these things that I need to do. And yeah, I do have another company. My real estate thing, I have my own firm. I started my own firm because of some really terrible things somebody was doing to me at the firm that I was affiliated with. So I started my own firm, and I went off on my own, and still was not. It just, when something doesn't align with you, it doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how motivated you are. None of that matters. If it doesn't align with you, a lot of times it's not going to work out. And a lot of people take that as failure. They take it as, oh, I tried so hard. I invested so much. I did this. I did that. I 11 years. Okay. And when I first started my real estate journey, I was homeless with 3 kids in a domestic violence homeless shelter, battered women's homeless shelter. And I made $4,000 my first year. I made $7,000 my second year. I could have been working at any fast food chain making triple that, double that. But I hung in there, and yeah, I eventually started making more, but it never did turn out to be this thing that everybody thinks it is, and I got in some terrible situations, but it was an experience, and I'm thankful for that experience. But my point is when I got the call the other day that my client had fired him. Granted, I have like $3,600 invested in trying to sell this house so far over the last year. So I could take it as I just lost almost $4,000. The time, the stress, the worry, the loss of a $30,000 commission check, the hit that my client feels like I can't make it happen. There's so many negative things that I could sit here and tell myself about why it happened, but I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating because that means that I am one step closer to being on track. Now, does that mean that when I get on the track, I'm going to automatically have a race car and I'm going to be doing this and that? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. I may just end up being on the track in the environment with other people. I may just be standing there talking to other people. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be in my race car or I'm going to be doing this. I am not trying to control the process. I know that version of my life is out there, and the only thing I'm not sitting here. If you what I've learned is if you want something really bad, you can go crazy and drive yourself insane, frustrated that you're not there, frustrated that it's taken so long. Oh, I could sit here and say, oh my gosh, I would do anything to have a freaking race car. I would do anything. You literally every day you wake up and like, I just want this. I'm gonna make it happen. I gotta make it happen. And you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out how to do it. Stop focusing on the end goal. Start focusing on the daily actions, the part of the process that it's going to take to get there. Because if my mind is way out here focused on the car, I'm going to get upset and frustrated that I'm sitting here. Okay? I understand. I already know what I want. I already know what I'm going to have. I already know what's going to happen. But since I'm right here, I have to make the changes. I have to make the reality what it is. And so since I'm here, I got fired. More or less, I got fired. And I'm not going to sit here and be upset about it. I am so thankful. Thank you. I am one step closer. I am one step closer to being where I need to be. Because sometimes we don't have the sometimes we're too scared. We're too fearful. We're too fearful of the unknown. And I still have a few things I have to do. I have a whole nother company that I have to figure out. How do I get out from under that company? How do I get out from under it? And since I have to figure out how to stop my careers and my jobs and my work, what am I going to do financially? Because doing all those things, I'm behind. I'm still behind. So if I get rid of those things, that's going to make me even further behind. But that's, the way I see it. Am I happy the way my life is right now? No, I'm not. So I can continue to do this same pattern every day and not be fulfilled. Or I can switch it all up. And when you lose things, okay, I lost $30,000. The other day I lost somebody. I wouldn't say I lost somebody, but somebody was removed out of my life that was very special to me. I don't know if that person was removed temporarily or permanently, but I can sit here and cry about it. I can sit here and be upset about it. I can sit here and come up with a million reasons why why I don't deserve it. But no, you don't do that. You appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for removing the things that are not aligned with me right now. Because I am no longer in control. Once you give up control and give up fear, that's when your slate is being cleared. It's just like I gave the example one other time. If your car is not working at full capacity, and you want to do a engine swap, you want to make it faster or stronger or whatever, and you need to take the old motor out because the old motor is not at full performance. You take the motor out and you put the new one in, right? Okay. You can't leave the old motor in the engine bay and put the new one on top of it and expect it to work. Sometimes you have to remove what's not working so that there's room to put the new thing that will work at full capacity, at full performance, at getting you a pole position. Has to be in the engine bay. You can't have two stacked on top of each other, one that don't work and one that does work. You see what I'm saying? Now, certain things that you feel like should be in your life, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If that aligns with you at some point, it will be back in your life. Just like the old motor that you took out, you may never use it again. Or you may acquire another vehicle and you might rebuild that motor and it might be the most amazing motor you have yet. And so it's back in your life. But you got to give up control. So I'm celebrating today because I'm one step closer. And don't be upset about things that have been removed from your life, because we don't know sometimes what's best for us. You just have to appreciate the process and keep moving forward. Love y'all.